So that is a aerial photo from about early 90s or so. Got a few little clues. Here's Mill Valley. There's just a couple farmhouses there. Up here north of Broadway, there's my woods. My parents built this house back in about 92, 93, and I don't really see a house there, so I'm thinking that this was somewhere in the early 90s, late 80s, I'm not really sure. But it shows the yesteryear of Marysville, Ohio. Back before, growth really expanded. There's 33. I've heard people talk about what life was like prior to having a highway coming through here. Talked to a guy one time that his family moved here in 1933. So I can imagine life was quite different. He said everything was about a block and a half from downtown. So everything was centrally located, didn't have all the subdivisions and all the stuff going on. So like I said, my parents moved here in the early 90s, along with me and my brothers. Nowadays, there's quite a few people that are moving here on a regular basis. And as a result of that, we're having growing pains. There are a lot of things changing here in our community. So this video is just to give you my 2 cents about what I think are the growing pains, and if you're maybe thinking about moving here, or if you're part of this community, what's going on and how can we do something about the growth, whether you like it or not, and do the best we can. And also, on a side note, if anybody can tell me what year this is they think, or wants to see a better picture of it, I'd love to get your opinion on when this picture is. So here are my 5 top growing pains that Marysville, Ohio is experiencing right now that I'd love your opinion on. Number 1, since I'm a real estate agent, housing. Housing is a bit challenging right now. Easy to say, there's a lack of affordable housing and just a lack of housing right now. I think today, April 3rd, as I'm filming this, there are, I think like 28 active listings right now, somewhere in that ballpark. I looked this morning, new listings for the year are down 17% or so for the Central Ohio area, and they're not staying on the market as long here in Marysville, so they're going pretty quick. So all that to say, higher prices, lower inventory, less options. Part of the catalyst for this video was I was meeting with some buyers the other night, and just the realization on their face that unfortunately their first house might be a fixer-upper, even though their budget really doesn't say fixer-upper, and they don't really want a fixer-upper. I was in the shop here recently organizing tools and putting things away, trying to get more efficient, and I was putting away a lot of tools that I used on the house that I flipped, turned around, and renovated. And thankfully was able to build some equity in that and now be in the house that we're in now. So we had a great opportunity to do that, and just the opportunity for that isn't there anymore. So it's not that it's not there, but it's a lot harder these days. And the price point is very different. So on behalf of the real estate industry, sorry, it's a little challenging to get a house right now. But one of my points is it's a good place to be. So I'd rather have that than nobody wanting to be here. Number 2, elbow grease may be required. Your first house or your next house might require a little elbow grease, whether it's your elbow grease or you're paying somebody else to use their elbow grease. Sellers aren't as incentivized as they used to be to fix up their houses, make sure they're in tip-top shape, to incentivize you as the buyer to, put your highest and best offer out there. Sellers have the upper hand in the seller's market. Whether or not you know how to fix or improve a house, or you want to, I've got some experience. I'm always here as a resource if you would like some advice or some insight into maybe what you should do or how you can do things. And if you need tools to borrow, I've got plenty of tools. So elbow grease might be required to get your dream home. So there's lots of options and lots of creative ways out there you can make it happen. So if you ever need help with that, let me know. So less on the real estate side of things. Number 3, there's just more. There's more people, there's more traffic, there's more stuff going on, which is great. There's a lot. It's awesome to go through the uptown of Marysville and see all of the vibrant activity going on, especially when it warms up like it is now. There's just so much going on and so many people wanting to do things and getting out and walking along the streets, which is great. Not a fan of the traffic when it takes you a little while to pull out. I like my small town that you can just pull on out, easy going, and you don't have all of the traffic issues that it seems to pop up. But thankfully there are plenty of times when the roads are empty and people seem to be at home relaxing. So there's give and take. But in general, there's just more. So whether or not you want a small town or you want a thriving, big, growing town, that's up to you. Number 4. So kind of on the change of driving it that I've experienced anyway. Number 4 is culture. There's just more people coming in. There's different habits and different traffic patterns and different road rage symptoms and different things that are going on. So it's interesting to see how new people bring new ideas and new creativity and different struggles and different things to work through. And of all the meetings and all of the things that I've been to lately revolving around our community growing and the conversations I've had, I think the one common thread through that is conversation and culture and us that have been here, maintaining that culture and kind of showing those that are new how we do things here in Marysville and what we can do to be part of a prosperous, united front moving forward as a community, to work together, to have a better community, whatever that might mean. So lastly, I think number 5, the big thing for me and a lot of people I've talked to is I hear this term smart growth. For some, smart growth is no growth. And so whether you're on the pro growth or no growth side, we're all in it together. Whether or not there's a whole lot we can do about it, we can, like I said prior, we can all be part of maintaining that as much as we can, the small town culture that we have and have had for so long. We can do something about that to keep that moving forward. So love to be part of that solution. So if you ever want to talk about the growth, about real estate, about culture, about anything going on here in our community, I'm always here. I look forward to conversation, whether it's through DMs on social media, my phone number, text, call, sit down and have coffee. I'd love to engage with you somewhere, so reach out. And also worth a conversation is creative ways to get into the housing market here in the Marysville, Ohio area. There are different creative financing options out there. There's different ways of looking at your search and critiquing your search and figuring out really what you want, what you don't want, where you want to be, where you don't want to be, whatever that might be. I'm here to help. Getting outside of the Marysville area, but still being a part of it, like I am 9 miles out. I still call Marysville my hometown when I travel, but I'm out here in the country away from it. So whatever it might be for you, there are options worth talking about. Love to sit down and talk with you. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, do whatever you feel like doing to engage later in the future. Whether you need to find a house you love, sell one you don't, or just love your community a little bit, hopefully there's something I can do to help out with that. And until next time, take care.